Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley and other Republican presidential candidate Ron DeSantis announced they each raised more than $1 million in the 24 hours after the third GOP debate Wednesday. Filing from the third fundraising quarter came in last month and gave an idea of how campaigns are faring with about a year to go until next November's election. DeSantis, Florida's governor, reported raising $15 million between his campaign committee leadership PAC and joint fundraising committee during the third quarter. As of Friday, DeSantis' campaign announced to raise more than $1 million in the 24 hours after the third debate. This is yet another example of how our fundraising continues to accelerate this quarter and is a sign of our growing momentum following the historic endorsement of Kim Reynolds and the debate victory this week, his campaign said in a statement. His team said DeSantis is heading back out to Iowa on Friday to campaign. Haley, a former United Nations ambassador, also announced her campaign raised more than $1 million after the third debate. Nikki raised over $1 million in the 24 hours after the debate. It was their best small donor fundraising day to date and comes on the heels of our best fundraising month, her campaign said in a statement. In poll after poll, Nikki crushes Biden. With Nikki at the top of the ticket, Republicans would win up and down the ticket from Congress to governor's races. The statement continued, voters love her toughness and moral clarity. That's why Nikki is surging. Haley's team reported having double the amount of money than DeSantis with $9 million cash on hand as of the third quarter. Both candidates still trail former President Trump, who brought in $24.5 million during the third quarter of 2023 and has more than $37.5 million cash on hand. So it's easy to look at these numbers and think, man, these campaigns are in really good shape. They're both, they raised $1 million within 24 hours of that last debate. But if you actually think about it, these numbers are more a showing of how this primary kind of seems to be over. I mean, I kept thinking, all right, give it a few debates. Surely someone's going to break out the pack in some major way. And really, even though Haley has seen an upsurge, I mean, let's not forget this is the same campaign that a few months ago had to lie and pretend it raised more money than it did. But you went from something like that to now you're getting more money, but it still is peanuts compared to what Trump is raising. So I think DeSantis, he's making the case. He should stay in the race, I think. He's not doing any worse than anybody else, but at a certain point, you do have to pack it in. And I think he's probably going to end up going the route of Pence, where it's like, yeah, he's starting off stronger than Pence ever did. But if you look at the donors and their reluctance to keep it going with this guy, and you keep seeing that Haley is either going up further or maybe only moving up a little bit, I think she's probably the one who's got the biggest chance of making a point of, I'm the alternative to Trump at this point. I think DeSantis has been lagging and floundering for too long, and he's going to, because of his ego, he's going to stay in the race, certainly, I would say, until at least Iowa. But if you look at the numbers and the fact that this guy has been just staying place to place month after month, and in some cases decreasing, I really believe he should just get out now. But of course, egos, they'll never allow him to. I guess Haley's more interesting to me because this is someone who is now seeing some momentum, but it still isn't anywhere near enough to actually win. It's just everybody's taking turns playing second fiddle to Trump in this race.